will make Cignetti one of the highest paid football coaches in the FBS with an annual average salary of about $11.6 million. The mouth of the South, the one and only Paul Finebaum is here. Paul, welcome to the show. Did Indiana make the right move with Cignetti?
They did not. And before anybody jumps out of their chair, allow me to explain. I think everyone on this panel agrees that he's done a phenomenal job. But Stephen A., this is how programs get in trouble. They just gave him an extension and a contract raise at the end of last season. We are barely at the midpoint. Let it play out before you completely send the Brinks truck up. Listen, there are very few generational talent. I understand why ESPN spends a fortune, like $100 million, to keep a once-in-a-lifetime talent like Stephen A. Smith. But I'm not still convinced that Curt Cignetti is one of the top coaches in America. He has played brilliant. He has coached brilliantly this year. But can't you let it play out a little bit? He has one big win, maybe one and a half, including the win a couple weeks ago over Illinois. And by the way, because Indiana is going to be in the playoffs, there's no way he could leave anytime before December or January. A couple of years ago, remember, Mel Tucker, Michigan State. They gave him a $100 million deal. He went out and lost to Ohio State, and he completely imploded after that. James Franklin, same thing. Jimbo Fisher, same thing. All I'm suggesting is take a deep breath, Indiana. Let the season play out a little bit before you mortgage a guaranteed $93 million contract that you may have to figure out a way to pay for down the road.
The man is 17-2 in a year and a half at the job, elevating Indiana to relevancy because let's face it, when it comes to college football, nobody thinks about Indiana until a year and a half ago, which is when he arrived. I'm saying to you that combined with Penn State being in the same conference, wanting to make sure you don't lose him to a Penn State. Don't you almost have to do that in college football to ensure that something like him transitioning to a school within the same conference doesn't happen?
I understand that, Stephen A., but they had already done that. He was already locked down. What they've done now is make it impossible to get out. I mean, he may well be the generational coach that we've never seen before, like a Nick Saban. But I have my doubts, and I am willing to say right now, a couple of years from now, this program may hit a speed bump, and Indiana, which is a basketball school, will be asking itself, how are we going to deal with something less than spectacular? It's just I've just seen this movie too many times, and I know I'm on an island. It's probably going to sink at the end of this conversation, and that's fine. I'm just finally pointing something out that nobody else ever seems to point out of why athletic directors make irrational decisions in October when the same decision could have been made in November or December with a better sample size. And look, Stephen A., at who Indiana has beaten. Last year, they didn't beat anybody. This year, they have beaten a very good team in Oregon. I give them all the credit in the world for that. They beat an okay team in Illinois. But let's see how they do against other competition. That's all I'm suggesting here.
Go ahead, Cam.
This is what I would say. Uncle Paulie, I'm going to have to respectfully disagree because this is what Indiana has understood to be true. We do not have the cachet to draw great talent to our team. From the coach's perspective, and what impacts coaches' impact is the players that we can get in and lure in. Right. Indiana said, whoa, we got something. Did they overpay it? They may have. It's still subjective and only time will tell. But when you think about Indiana, are they a tier 2 team or a tier 3 team in their conference? And this is what I want you to understand. When you think about the Big Ten, you think about Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State. All right, now let's go to the most dominant conference, and I will say the most dominant conference in all of college football, in the SEC. When you think about tier 1 teams, you think about UGA, Alabama, LSU, right? Then you go to tier 2 teams, you think about Texas, Texas A&M, and like an Ole Miss. Do you see that's really not a drop-off right there? Because now Indiana has identified to say, hey, how do we insect ourselves and propel ourselves to a tier 1 respectable team in this conference? Because now we got the skill set and the talent to compete with the Ohio State, with the Michigan on a consistent basis. We do not want, to Stephen A's point, we do not want our talent that we once had to go to a team like Penn State.
Before we go, RC, Paul, do you want to respond to that real quick, what Cam just said? Go ahead,
So I'm going to say
RC.
this. What Indiana understands is what my homeboy Marcus Washington always understood. He went to Auburn. When he was out, if he found one, he stood with her the whole night. You know why? He said a bird in the hand was better than two in the bush.
Oh, Lord.
And that's exactly what Indiana said. We got one, and we're not going to let him go.
Hello.
You have to understand that this isn't a school, like Cam said, that was in the consciousness of college football. You go to Oregon, you get a huge win. I was at Notre Dame in the college football playoffs, and I watched those Indiana fans flock in and have belief and have excitement and have energy over a football team that you haven't been able to feel that way about for decades. This was a decision to make sure that as this season comes to an end, some of those jobs, like Penn State, Stephen A., that would be more alluring, that would be more historic, more traditional. This is a way to make sure those teams don't come in and swoop your coach that you found.
Finebaum, with that being said, since Cignetti is not somebody that's going to end up at Penn State, where do they go from here now that they don't get somebody like him?
Well, I think their best choice is Matt Rhule, and I'm well aware that Matt Rhule's record, Stephen,
I agree.
Matt Rhule's record looks a little bit like James Franklin's, but the difference is I think Matt Rhule showed at Temple and at Baylor what he is capable of. The Panthers was a disaster, but who hasn't been a disaster at the Carolina Panthers? Nebraska, it's a slow grind. He has got some respect. Cam, I forgot about you. I'm sorry.
Sorry, man. Paulie, we good, Paulie.
Uncle Paulie. Go ahead.
He is.
He loves it.
He is going. The word fit is overused, Stephen A., but he played at Penn State, and the Penn State athletic director is his best friend and was also his boss at
That's
Temple.
exactly.
So that means something in college football.
It's happening.
So that's why I think Rhule would be better than just going out and hiring somebody off the street.
That's a striker guy. I don't want the head coach being best friends with the athletic director. No. I don't like it. I don't like it. No, it's one thing to cultivate a relationship once you get there and you're working with each other. It's another thing to have it before that happens, okay? No. Because
But Stephen A., how about? But Stephen A., isn't it important that those two people be aligned? We see it all the time. GM head coach, AD head coach.
I understand that, but what I'm trying to say is that usually leads to a lot of covering, the CYA going on right there. I'm suspect on that. That's number one. Number two, I would say this too. Matt Rhule, I respect the hell out of him. He did do a good job at Temple. He is doing a good job now at Nebraska. They're undefeated. I get that part. I understand it. He deserves our respect. When I think about a college football coach, particularly a program like Penn State, I need sizzle. I need somebody that's going to draw in a way that allows you to elevate your recruiting. Because we looked at Penn State, what did they say? You went out and you paid for the defensive coordinator to come over from Ohio State, highest paid coordinator in football, right? And they said, you want money for NIL, you want money for cats from using the transfer portal, all of this stuff. And they still walked away saying James Franklin didn't have the pieces in place. Penn State wasn't as talented as we all thought they were.
That's about evaluation.
I understand that. But my point is that can Matt Rhule get the players that you need to Penn State? I'm not questioning his coaching.
Yeah.
I'm questioning whether or not he can be that attractive allure to do that.
I'll say this. Knowing Matt Rhule on a more personal level.
I don't know him. So that's fair.
This being in Carolina and, coming into a situation where you have questions, right? That Panthers, North Carolina, South Carolina, Carolina Panthers experience with Matt Rhule is something that should kind of be an asterisk in his coaching resume. Because when you look back at what he did at Baylor, instant impact. What he did at Temple, it took time for him to really grow into that. Now what he's doing at Nebraska, he is a college head football coach. He's not an NFL football coach. We can say that about a lot of people, including Nick Saban.
It's true.
Right? So when you say, okay, what is Matt Rhule doing in college that really, he understands it? He has an unbelievable supporting cast of coaches, talented coaches around him that can recruit. They understand the pulse of the kids. And this is the thing that I was more impressed because going back to Nebraska for a 7-on-7 tournament this year, you see that Matt Rhule may not look the part, but he understands what he is not. And if he is not something, he's going to find somebody that is capable of luring the talent that needs to be had to his organization.
Paul Finebaum, Cam Newton, hold on to this moment. Y'all are right. I have changed my mind. I have changed my mind because, damn it, y'all know, hold on to this. It's a rare moment. It don't happen but once a year. It don't happen but once a year.
It was like a pretty
No, I don't want mine yet. I don't want mine.
That was a pretty obvious one.
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't.
That's not even a good one to give to him.
No, I'm just saying.
That was a
I'm
layup.
going to tell you when I need mine.
Personally, when you need yours, that's when you need it.
No.
Uncle Paulie, are you good with that? I'm going to let you go, all right?
No, first of all, I love being called Uncle Paulie.
know.
Number two, I am really glad to see you come around, Stephen A., because I think Cam made the best point here because he understands Matt Rhule.
Yes, he does.
You just can't use everything against somebody when they're charting a new course, and most of his career has been brilliant.
Got you. You know what? There are 3 ranked versus ranked SEC matchups on Saturday with LSU Vanderbilt, Tennessee Alabama, and Ole Miss Georgia. That matches the most ranked versus ranked conference games on a single day in SEC history. Done 6 previous times. Cam, I'll come to you. What's the most intriguing Week 8 matchup?
Can we just savor this moment right now when people talk about other conferences? SEC is the best conference. Why? It's not because of talent. It's because what you have to go up against each and every single week. You better bring your lunch, pal, and you better bring some water. Well, we're down in the South, so you might want to bring you a little Arnold Palmer and a little lemonade, too. Well, Kool-Aid, to be exact. But when I'm looking around this weekend, I want to see Ole Miss and I want to see them doggone puppies in UGA. Because what happened last week was a Travis-Shell mockery, and I'm still looking for them referees in Auburn. Because I don't think that Georgia is the team that we always knew Georgia to be. Kirby Smart running on the sideline, obviously saying timeout, but they didn't give him a timeout, and I'm over here frustrated. That was supposed to be my night, Stephen A. And they blew it. Not doggone Kirby Smart. It's the referees that blew it, and I'm still looking for you. And when I tell you I'm going to find you, I'm going to find you, and I'm going to tell you about yourself when I do. And I'm mad at that still.
I'm just going to say this.
I wouldn't want Cam looking for me.
It's very difficult for me to take an Auburn Tiger that's dressed like a Clemson Tiger seriously. Like that.
He got you on that one. He got you on that one, Cam.
Okay.
He got you on that one. That's a good one right there. It is true.
Hey,
it is.
So
He got you good.
That's the first thing. But obviously, it's Vanderbilt, LSU. And I am a homer, for sure. But for me, it's who is the real LSU? Where's the Garrett Nussmeier that was supposed to go top 5? Where's this explosive offense that you supposedly were able to get by having a track team or a 4x1 team in the wide receiver room? You have a defense that's playing top tier. Now, can you go and play Diego Pavia, who is all energy, all execution, all fight, and can you go win that game handily? Because if you can't, then that's an issue, and you are not a college football playoff team. But if they do, Penn State, there's a great coach at LSU named Brian Kelly that everybody loves that you should look at.
But I'm going to tell you this, though. Can we agree to disagree or agree to agree with this? Vanderbilt ain't the same Vanderbilt.
I know, that's the problem.
That's true. They done changed up. In other words, they could beat you. They could beat you. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, I'm going to go against my brethren SEC people, but I think the most intriguing game is Southern Cal at Notre Dame. And one reason is this game is about to go away. And Stephen A., growing up, this was maybe the biggest game of the year in college football. And I think it's incredibly important. Notre Dame loses. They are done with the playoffs. This is a program that went to the championship game a year ago under a really outstanding coach in Marcus Freeman. And Lincoln Riley has underperformed, but he finally has a team that has a good quarterback and seems to be able to score. So I am locked into South Bend Saturday night.
I'm locked in to Alabama, Tennessee. Alabama, I got to admit, I was all over Kalen DeBoer. I was like, finesse, Pac-12, and it's not coming into the SEC. I don't want to see that. I looked at Ty Simpson against Florida State to open up. I wasn't impressed. This brother's a leading candidate for the Heisman right now. Yeah. They've looked great. They beat Georgia on the road, okay? They just sat up there and went on the road and beat Missouri. They beat Vanderbilt in between. Now they got, Tennessee coming up, who's ranked 11th in the nation. I'm just saying, I'm seeing a little something from Alabama. Maybe, just maybe, Kalen DeBoer is going to handle his business and do something that Nick Saban has done, which is bring a national championship to Tuscaloosa. It is possible.
You've been changing a lot lately.
It is possible. Well, you know what?
And that's growth.
Fluid. It's fluid, baby.
Everything's fluid.
It's fluid. You like that, don't you, Paul?
You want this, you got that.